Hello and welcome to Flory Models Kit Review time. Today we've got Eduard's limited edition 132nd Bf109E Battle of Britain edition. You might remember, especially if you're watching these in order, the last one we did was actually the 48 scale version of this kit, which is a dual combo. So you get two 48 scale kits in there. This particular one, the 132nd, the big brother, you obviously only get the one, okay? So down in here, as you can see, gorgeous box art. Okay, there's Goan with his famous cigar and jaunty angle, as we know. Okay, on there. So on this particular one, you get 13, I think it's 13, different options, markings. Very similar, obviously, to the 148 scale that we've just seen. All right, so that's down in there. Kit number for this one is 11107. Okay, and down on here. So this is what it was saying about you can do the versions of the Bf109E 1, 3, 4 and 4B on the actual Battle of Britain type aircraft. Colour and photo etch inside. As we know, decals for 13 options we've just seen. You get the Brazin wheels, so it's the same as the 48th one, although it's a different configuration with them. And you get a figure of him as well, which I do believe is a slightly different version. So in the box, which does stand up, we have a clear parts, gives you an idea of the scale. Okay, we've got more clear parts. Do you get two in here then? We do, we get two in here. I forget everything I've just said. Do we get two in here? No, we only get one fuselage. Yes, we only get one in here, so I don't know why we've got two of these. Okay, this is one of these where I'm going to have to do my homework after here. So we've got two different versions for canopies down in here. It's not two different kits, just different versions of. We'll look at that properly in a moment. Getting ahead of myself there. There's our resin wheels. Okay, that's our wing sections and fuselage down in there. There's the main parts again, just down in there. An unbagged part, which is very unusual, but it's the bomb rack obviously for the early versions. Okay, and then down in here we've got the instructions, and we've got colour photo etch and normal photo etch, as you can see, masking set, the usual things that you might expect. And there is our figure tucked away, hiding down in there. Okay, so that's quite nice. We'll look at those in a moment. Anyway, mine looks like it's been mauled, as you can see, which I don't know why. This is a brand new kit. Anyway, same thing again, obviously about Adolf Galland right the way through, and obviously the 109, as we know, in the different squadrons and units, pretty much the same as we've just seen with the 48 scale one. Okay, usual thing, if it's greyed out, don't use it. All right, so that's the thing about the canopy, as we can see down in here. So there's two versions of the canopy, I and J. So some of those you don't use, some of those you do. Keep an eye on that. It is worth, you know, making a note in case you accidentally stick the wrong ones in. Colour callouts, as we can see down below in here, as always. Right, usual thing, starting off with the cockpit. We've got all the interior details, pulleys, levers, and various things being fitted to the sidewalls. They go in. Usual thing, if it's red, means remove it. The surface detail, because you've got a photo etch that's going to replace it. That Brazin area for the tail wheel is the entire sort of tail wheel area. So you've got a resin piece that's going to fit into that one just down in there, and then same thing again. So we've got coolers and scoops and various things for the on the front here being fitted in there as well. So you've got photo etch going in with that. Over on the other side, straight into the actual cockpit area. So same thing again, we've got photo etch for the harnesses system, we've got the seat being fitted down in there, we've got rudder pedals, photo etch for that again, trim wheels, and then instrument panels all being fitted in there, as we might imagine, right the way through. Okay, then obviously we've got the forward bulkhead, the various things and things like that around the actual engine area, and then the engine itself. Okay, so another fully detailed engine to put in, so you can display that open or closed, which is a very nice touch. Sandwiching all this together as well, so we've actually got that forward machine gun compartment with the actual engine being fitted in, the cockpit, bulkhead, things like that, sandwiching it all down in there. Tailplane system all being fitted in there as again. Again, you can make them semi-posable. Wheel wells being fitted down into their wing systems, the forward sort of slats being fitted onto this one, and then again, wing radiators being fitted in. So pretty straightforward on that one. Control surfaces all being fitted to the back, machine guns being added, coolers, things like that being entered into this one. Brazin wheel set, as we've seen before, so you've got that one for the actual resin wheels being fitted in this one. You've got the counterweights, pitos, things like that going in the aerials. If you're going to put them in that early, probably not. Photo etch, a little bit going down underneath the covers, things like that. Okay, pretty straightforward all the way through so far. Exhaust system, so a little bit of a thing to go through, so you've got to stick them all in, but they are sort of hollowed out as well, so that's why they do them this way, being put in there. The machine guns for the shroud, if you're going to be having it this way, they go fitted up and in as well, so they just poke through the holes, depending on which way you're going to be displaying it, either open or closed. If you're doing it closed, this is the one you're going to be using. Open, obviously things are slightly different. We'll see that one in a moment. Okay, instrument panel being fitted down and put into this one, and then obviously it's got all the glass work, and obviously it talks about the different versions. Make sure you get your right one, and your masks that you'll be using down in there as well, so they're all in there as well. Okay, and then we've got the various things with him standing in this one. Last one he was seated, this one he's standing for the figure, and then obviously doing the canopy open and various things like that being fitted down and in. Pretty straightforward. Same again, I think, on the actual markings as what we've just seen. There might be some little differences, I'm not too sure, without doing a side by side, but they all look very nice indeed. Again, different versions going through. Again, some very interesting ones to do. It's exactly the same as the 48 scale ones, because we were just discussing how somebody's attacked it with a spray can. Okay, so again, some very nice details in there, and just like the other one, all your stencil detail, which there isn't tons of it, which is quite handy, just on the back there. Good thick manual, that one, do like that. Okay, so I don't think we need to go through all the decals again, because we did it for the 48 one, and these are just a bigger version. Again, very nicely done. Okay, no problem with those, we shouldn't think. And we've got the mask set, which are obviously all die cut as well, so you just peel and stick on, save yourself a lot of time and hassle with those. Okay, colour photo instrument panels, again, nice little touch. Beautifully done. We've got the harnesses as well, just to save you a little bit of time and hassle down in there. And on the other side, we've got the grills. These down in here are the actual rudder pedals. We've got some trim pulleys and various things down in there as well for some details that were down in the cockpit. So again, very nice indeed. We've got resin wheels, which again, there's no weight on wheels. I don't know why we're not doing weight on wheels. Why aren't we doing weight on wheels these days? Is this a thing? So this is that internal, which to be honest, there isn't much internal detail to it. But there you go, it's down in there. So that's for R7, which was for the tail wheel. That's the pole for your tail wheel, and obviously the under bits, that's fiddly as hell. We're going to be cutting that out, so just be careful with there, you don't snap that off. Okay, the tail wheel itself, again, doesn't look too bad at all. And the main wheels, these ones have got the centres already put in, so we've seen that on the 48 scale when they were separate. These are in, but again, it's a bit strange, they're not weighted wheels. Now, it's maybe that they've got high pressure tyres, so they don't sort of go flat, so that might be the reason for it. I'm not too sure on that one, because obviously they do stick out at a funny angle as well. Well, not funny to anyone else, but funny when you see them, it looks like they're going to break off at any point. Okay, so there we go, that's those. Then we've got the figure, which is this one, which is a nice little touch for your little diorama if you was to do it. So again, nicely cast and done. So we've got his trousers, and then obviously we have a hand. Okay, no jokes. Okay, and his boots. I don't even know why, yeah, sorry, childish, I know. Okay, his body, which actually looks very nicely done again, and we've got himself. And actually he looks a lot better in that one than he does in the other one. Actually looks quite nice, and I think this will be his cigar. Again, got his little cigar there. Okay, just down in here and things like that. So actually I don't think that's too bad at all. That's very nice. Keep your cigar safe. Okay, let's pop those back in. Right, into the meat of it. So, because of the way that there's different versions of this, and obviously this is the E version, that's why I think we've got multiple wings and things in here, just because of the way that they've done it. So that's why we've got two lower wings with the different ones. So it's going to be a case of using the lower wing and then the upper wing from the other one. So as you can see, you've got the bulge down here for the cannons, obviously not used in R1. So that's why you've got the two down in here, just like that. So if we start on these, as you can see, really beautiful, just like the 48th one, but obviously scaled up. Very nicely done indeed, with all that riveting. And the tops of the wings, again, catch it in the light there, as you can see, really very, a little bit of flash on this. So if you can see that running right the way around, all around the edges, bit of flash. You know, it's not too much, it's just going to be a swipe. It's just unusual. And Gonna have to say, I don't know if it's supposed to be there or not, but that looks like a sink mark to me. Which it is. That's a sink mark which goes in for this block under here. I think that's the first time I've seen a sink mark on one of their kits. So there we go. Just something to look out for. Just going to check it's got it on them all. Slightly different one on this one. Okay. But it has got sink marks in all those areas, so again that's the first time I think I've seen it on there. Details on the inside, same as the 48th one, as we know. This is a sort of a scaled up version, or the other one's shrunk, I'm not sure. Okay, so fuselage gives you an idea of the scale. It's going to be quite a large lump when she's all together, and as you can see, again, really very nice details with that riveting, the various things on there. We've got the drop tanks. Probably not using those at this point, but and then obviously the other side. Then we got that cowl, and the actual cowling area you can see. And again, very flashy. There's lots of flash all over this. It's not heavy duty. It's going to be quite easy clean up. Okay. Inside, to say, there is no detail at all because you're going to be putting all of that in. And this is that little box area for where the actual resin part fits in as well. So we get good locations for those. So that's quite nice. Okay, then we got over on this one. Again, more parts all over this, but running through. We've got the head box and the armour for the back. We've got the wheel wells, again, all riveted. Inside to the wheel wells, no ejector pins or anything else like that to worry about. And again, we've got the spinner, got the exhaust areas. We've got the instrument panel, but obviously you'd be removing all that detail. Again, the spinner, it has got a tiny little bit of flash on there. Not that we're using that one, but we were using this one, but there you go. Okay, again, pretty nice. It's just a little bit bitty compared to their normal way of doing it. Everything's got just little bits on it here, there and everywhere, which is a little bit odd because normally you don't see it. Okay, it's one of the add-on parts I assume to this one because it's got the smaller little bomb rack that goes on the belly. As you can see, that's looking pretty nice indeed. All of those and the other bombs, things like that, being fitted down into that one. That's very nice. And then in here, it's funny because I've just reviewed the other one. This is less like Honey I Shrunk the Kids, but in reverse. Like Honey I Blown Up the Kids. Okay, so we've got all the control surfaces. We've got the prop. Not as much flash on this one. This one looks quite nice, and I can't really see any sink marks either. Okay, so we've actually got the cockpit floor, we've got the seat there, we've got the tails, obviously with the pylon mark, control surfaces, and again these are very nicely done. Got nice recessed details into that one, and for the rudder we've got the prop, control surfaces again, running right the way through. So actually very nice indeed. Okay, oh, we're all stuck. Okay, and then down in here we've got the tyres. Now obviously these are one-piece tyres you'd hub up, but we've actually got resin ones as well, tail, various things. But there's the main gear legs, that sidewall detail that you'll be adding all the parts to, working our way around. We've got the counterweights there for the control surfaces, and all the various parts, all looking very nice, clean, crisp. No real flash on this one either, so that's quite nice. Got the trim wheels, the various things. Nice how, obviously at Eduard as well, they space them out on the sprues. They're not all on top of each other, so you can easily remove them without breaking bits off. Okay, and then last up, down in here we've got the engine parts and the various things as well, so it's a nice touch with this one. So we've got some of the bulkheads, as you can see down in here, the engine mounts, and all the parts, the actual engine itself. Looking good. We've got the machine gun. And then working our way across, got the other engine half, got the supercharger, various parts, working right up, no real flash or anything else on there, got the sump I think that is, or anything else. And again, good, clean, crisp moulding. It's funny, there's little sink marks, but they're not on anywhere apart from that wings, but it's got them back here as well. It's unusual because you don't normally see it with Eduard. See it with lots of other manufacturers, but not Eduard, so again, a little bit different there. Clear parts. Okay, so again, these are gorgeous. Look how crystal clear they are. Absolutely window clear. I know they're quite flat, obviously, on the 109, but again, it's really nice because you can see through into these with no real problem. So that's very nice indeed. And the other one will be exactly the same as well. And there you have it. Again, it's one of these things, there's lots of 109s out there, but this is the early one. This is an E, so that's quite nice to actually get an early version out there. There is obviously a lot of chopping and changing around in the kit to make the E, so make sure you get the right versions with the right parts. So it might be easier to remove the parts you don't want and get them out of the way so you don't end up sticking the wrong wing on or various bigger parts and then having to do a lot of cleanup and mess to actually put it right. So it's just a little bit of a tip there. Generally, very, very nice. We've literally just reviewed an hour ago the 48 scale version, which does look like a mini-me of this actual kit. And again, because the instructions, the various bits and pieces in there, it looks like they go together exactly the same. Really very, very nice indeed. And again, Eduard is sort of legendary now for doing gorgeous in-scale riveting, panel lining, things like that. And this kit is exactly the same. It is fantastic. Very, very nice indeed. So if you are looking for that 109, definitely have a good look at this particular kit. So there we go, that's the 32nd version from Eduard of the Battle of Britain edition of the Bf109E.